Hey, Planeswalkers, Mythras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Today we got another unique deck. So excited about this, as I've been trying to do this every day, and we're almost through December here with something different since the start of Zendikar Rising. So with that said, we're going to talk about the main board Planeswalkers. We're going to talk about the sideboard. We'll pull them both together for you today in a how-to for best of 3 and guide. And then we'll go ahead and play some best of 1 and best of 3 in Mythic today. So pretty excited about that. Now, quickly, as always, huge thank you. I really appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Just like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Twitch, stay up to date on daily content like this. Other ways to support the channel down below in the description as well. All right, so let's go ahead and check out today's deck. We have an Abzan Midrange deck, my friends. So very, very excited about this. Now, quickly here, for those of you that are new or for those of you that are returning, the deck list is available down below in the description, so you have access to it right away. Additionally, the deck links are there. And I do have my Untapped profile for you, so you guys can follow my journey. And additionally, you can track your statistics with a companion app that's available down there as well. Now, quickly, if you do got questions or comments about this particular deck or the list, please let me know down below. Otherwise, I also have a Discord channel server available for you. Lots of great people, so come hang out as well. All right, so Abzan Midrange, it is Abzan because the black, green, and the white color schema, and oddly enough, are only splashing for Eerie Ultimatum, but it also helps with Mythos of Nethroi here, so we'll talk about those in a little bit. And that color schema is, again, the swamp, the forest, and the plains, giving us the Abzan. And then it's primarily a mid-range deck because this really excels in the mid-game. Most of the stuff that we have here is kind of big creatures that do things. Pretty interesting. I take that back. We also have enough for Mothra here, which is good old Luminous Broodmoth. So that's where the strategy is with this particular deck, is kind of controlling early, getting the middle of the match kind of settled down. We do have some things at the top end should we progress that long enough. If we haven't kind of locked up the board by then, kind of a deal, should be enough to kind of push us over. So that is the objective of this deck. Again, it's an Abzan midrange. So quickly, we'll do our flyby here so we can see everything in its totality. I'm a big fan of this because it helps us as we walk through each of these individually. So last but not least, we'll run through the lands here. This deck, again, is very, very exciting. I have not ran an Abzan midrange deck. It used to be very, very popular back in the Siege Rhino days. So many of you may or may not remember that, but lots of fun. So anyway, we got Blood Chief's Thirst, and that just really kind of made Abzan midrange, to be honest. Blood Chief's Thirst here, it's a sorcery spell. It's got a kicker for 3. If we don't kick it, we can destroy target creature or planeswalker with convert mana cost or less. If we kick it, we can destroy target creature or planeswalker, so very, very powerful there. We got Black Lance Paragon. I like this in this deck. We do have a 1 of the ability to gain some life back with this guy, Flash, also a Death Touch ability on it as well. And that's where you target Knight, but you'll just target this guy. Then we got Heartless Act. So here we can destroy target creature with no counters on it, or remove up to 3 counters from target creature. Again, this is an instant speed kill spell. We got Scavenging Ooze. So the Scooze is back in today. So very excited about this. You guys know I love this card. But here we can exile target creature card, or target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on the Scooze, and we also gain 1 life. Now, we have one of my other favorite cards, particularly from M21 here, Mazemind Tomb. I love seeing this. Gives us the ability to really do some hand smooth and gain some draw power. Here we can tap, we can put Pagemind counter, or a Mazemind page counter on Mazemind Tomb. We get a Scry 1, or we can also pay 2 and tap it, and then draw a card, and then put another counter on it as well. And then once there are 4 more counters, we exile this bad boy, and we also gain 4 life. So we got a couple of ways to gain life back, which is big. Now we have Mythos of Nethroi here. So this card is super powerful. We can destroy target non-land permanent if it's a creature, or if both green and white were also spent to cast this spell. So if you do that, you can destroy any permanent, which is pretty awesome. Very, very powerful, huge game changer, does do a lot of work. Then we got a good old modal land here, so we got Bell again, Recovery. I like this in this deck. We can return target card from our graveyard to our hand. Otherwise, we can have it enter tapped as a good old forest. We have some ramp here as well now with Cultivate, so we can search our library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal those cards, and put them on the battlefield tapped, and the other into our hand, and then we may shuffle our library. So this is really important here because as we get past 3, we do got a lot of double colors. So we want to make sure we're hitting what we need. So it's not fully about the ramp, it's really about mana fixing, which is pretty good and an interesting play here for this particular deck. Then we have Landlord Visionary, so when this card enters, we got a cantrip, so we get to draw a card, and then we can also tap this guy for additional land and get a 2/2 body. We have good old Luminous Broodmoth here. So this is a 3/4 flying insect creature. Whenever a creature we control dies, we may return it to the battlefield under its control with a flying counter on it, and without flying. So that's a key thing. So we're gonna this guy, lots of things going on there. Then we got Hagra Mauling, and we got a few more here too coming up. We got Hagra Mauling, an awesome modal land. This is one of my favorites. Actually, it can destroy target creature at instant speed, or we can have it enter again as that black mana source, so we may need. Then we got Rankle, Master of Pranks here. It's got flying haste, and then whenever it attacks and deals damage to a player, we can choose any of the 3 or none, so you keep that in mind. But each player discards a card, each player loses 1 life and draws a card, each player sacrifices a creature. Then we got Acolyte of Affliction. So this is a really nice 4-drop. When it enters the battlefield, we mill 2 cards, then we may return a permanent card from our graveyard to our hand. So that's really helpful. And I really do like that in this deck as well. Then we got good old Elspeth Conquers Death. So again, some more graveyard recursion here in this enchantment saga. We got 3 things going on. We can exile target permanent and opponent controls with converted mana cost 3 or greater. We also have non-creature spells our opponent's cast costs 2 more to cast until next turn. And then last but not least, return target creature or planeswalker card from our graveyard to the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on it or a loyalty counter. So very big again as we move into kind of the tail end of this deck. Then we got Elder Gargaroth, a huge creature, 6/6 body. It's got vigilance, reach, and trample. Just does a ton of things. Whenever it attacks or blocks, we can choose one of the following. We can either create a 3/3 beast token, we can gain 3 life, or draw a card. So very nice in the situation. Then we have our first planeswalker here. We got Vivian, Monsters Advocate, a nice 5-drop that allows us to look at the top card of our library anytime we may cast creature spells from the top card of our library. So another way to get additional cards and get some advantage on our opponents. Our +1, we can create a 3/3 green beast creature token. We can either give it a vigilance, a reach, or a trample counter. And then the down 2, whenever we cast our next creature spell this turn, we may search our library for a creature card with a lesser converted mana cost and put it on the battlefield, then shuffle. So nice to play this into one of these, or play this into one of these down here, which is good. So something to absolutely consider, and we got 2 of those running in this deck. Then at the top end, we got Eerie Ultimatum. We can return any number of permanent cards with different names from our graveyard to the battlefield, so very powerful here. Need to make sure that we have the right colors to cast it, so it can get a little bit tricky. But I did run a Eerie Ultimatum deck specifically. You guys can absolutely check that one out. Pretty fun to see exactly how this card works. Really nice. And then we have Ugin the Spirit Dragon. Always nice to have this as a 1-of in a deck. You slam this and exile the board, and you're pretty much golden. +2, Ugin the Spirit Dragon deals 3 damage to any target. Our down X, like I said, exile each permanent with convert mana cost X or less. That's 1 or more colors. And then -10, we gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, then put up to 7 permanent cards from our hand onto the battlefield. And then again, we got a lot of good color fixing here between the modal lands, which is nice, and Triome, Fabled Passage, and then a good mix in terms of the singles, plus a good old Castle Lochwin. So my friends, that is the main board. Very, very nice in terms of an Abzan. I'm looking forward to playing this in both best of 1 and best of 3 today. As long as we don't run into, I'll say, too many aggros maybe, we'll probably do fairly well hopefully with this. It's got a nice mid-range body feel to it, which is something that I really like, and then have that kind of top-end capacity to really close games down. So in terms of sideboard, we have Chainweb Arachner. This is the perfect rogue sideboard card. Here it's got reach. When it enters the battlefield, it deals damage equal to its power to target creature with flying opponent controls. And then it's also got escape. So for 5, we can exile 4 other cards from our graveyard. It escapes with 3+1/+1 counters on it. So you're going to take out any good old rogues with that. And then, it's going to work also. I have run into some kind of like interesting UW flyer decks now. So you could try that against that as well. And then obviously not a bad one to put in if you do run into some aggro matches, if you need another body. Then we have Agonizing Remorse. So here's a sorcery spell. We can target opponent's going to reveal their hand, choose a non-land card from it or a card from the graveyard, exile that card, and then we lose 1 life. So this works really well against any deck that's probably going to be running Lurrus, any deck that's a Rakdos mid-range type deck, any deck that's utilizing graveyard that wants to pull back and need to hit something. This is a good card. The other spot to play this is against control decks. UW Control's making kind of a little bit of a comeback right now as well. Works well against other decks where you just need to get stuff out of their hand, like the Ultimatum deck, Timur Obash deck, those kinds of things as well. Then we have Eliminate. So here we can destroy target creature or planeswalker with convert mana cost 3 or less. You're going to run this against aggro decks, Mono Red, Gruul Aggro, Boros Winata decks, Mardu Winata decks, you name it. Those are good ones. Night decks, Mardu or Boros again. Lots of good spots for this. You can run against rogues too. That's a good one for you. Then we got Mythos of Nethroi. Destroy target non-land permanent if it's a creature or if 3 was spent to cast. I like this in a lot of different situations. Definitely some of the late game stuff. Early game, not so much because you might end up, it might cost you too much. You're better off actually putting in something like an Eliminate over it if they're more creature heavy. But it's still going to work if you need to kind of slow down the pace. Again, other great spots. So destroy target non-land permanent if it's a creature or if we get all 3. So you could play this against the Doom decks too, and take out some of those enchantments if you need to, but you got to be careful because if you don't get the right mana mix, then you're going to be in a world of hurt. But those are some other considerations to remember that a lot of people may forget about. Then we got Lovestruck Beast. So here we got the Adventure Sorcery where we can create a 1/1 human creature token, or we can have it enter as a 5/5 beast. Noble, but it can only attack if we have a 1/1. Where would you could play this? I'm going to play this against aggro decks. I'm going to play this against mid-range decks that are more creature-based. So this could be like a Selesnya deck. You're going to play it against Mono Red, Gruul Aggro, those kinds of things as well. Again, all those other ones that we had listed off. This is a good one for you there. Then we have Extinction Event. Here, choose odd or even, exile each creature with convert mana cost of the chosen value. 0 is even, so that hits your counters. You're going to want to play this against flood decks. So those could be some of the Knights decks. You can also play this against aggro and some mid-range as well. Like if you're running a Croxa deck, running into a Croxa deck and you get stuff off the board, or if they're running Ox or Phoenix, those could be some good ones like the Mono Red, big red deck. So lots of good spots for this, and then things that we can definitely play around here on the board. So those aren't bad considerations. Then we also have Pulchronos Unchained. So this enters with 6 +1/+1 counters on it. It escapes for 12 +1/+1 counters instead. If damage would be dealt to this creature, you remove a +1/+1 on it, prevent that damage, and remove that many +1/+1 counters from it. So it works well against Death Touch. People forget about that. For 3, it will fight another target creature, and we can escape it for 6 and exile 6 other cards from our graveyard. Great against rogues, great in the mid-range spot here. Good against other bodies, particularly if you have to fight things or remove cards off the board. This would work well against like a Mono Green Food, could work well against Gruul Aggro, works well against aggro decks if you need to there as some other spots. Then we got Yasharn, Implacable Earth. A legendary creature, elemental boar. When this enters battlefield, search your library for a basic forest and a basic plains card. Reveal those cards, put them on the battlefield, put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. Players can't pay life or sacrifice non-land permanents to cast spells or activate abilities. I actually like this against mono white life gain. I also like it against some of the rogue decks, and then obviously sack decks are making a little bit of a comeback, so keep that in mind as well. That can help you out there too. Obviously this guy's huge in historic, but just some places for us to play him in standard today. Then last but not least, we got Field of Ruin. I like that we have this in the sideboard. It is a great consideration. I think all decks should play some form of this because you can run into a lot of problems, particularly against some of the control decks with Crawling Barrens. So this will take Crawling Barrens out for you. So here you can tap it for 1, or you can pay 2 and tap it and then destroy target non-basic land that opponent controls. Then each player is going to search their library for a basic land, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle their library. So pretty powerful card, something to think about. It does take a lot of other things off the board too, so keep that in mind. But again, a really, really nice consideration, particularly against control, because that could be a slightly more difficult matchup at times for this deck too, depending on what it is that you're running into. So Planeswalkers, that is the sideboard. So now we're going to pull these both together in kind of a guide in how to, and we'll talk about it from an aggro, mid-range, and a late game matchup. I'm also going to remove out kind of the deck specifics, but I'll call out a few things, and I'm saying that in terms of like the rogues deck. So again, if we're playing an aggro matchup, things that I would probably move in, you could consider Chain Web. You'll definitely do eliminate. Again, Mythos is going to be a depends. Lovestruck Beast for sure. I would probably pull a Chronos in there, and then you could maybe even do Extinction Event. So let's go at least 4 to 6. What would I move off the board? You can always dump Ugin. It's a nice one of. Obviously, if you get it, it's gonna totally change the game, particularly against an aggro. We do have some ramp, so that could be a consideration for you. But I would drop down to maybe at least 1 or get rid of all the Elspeth Conquers Deaths here. This guy's great. This guy's great. But you could also cut this, so that gives you 5 right there if you need to. But if you do want to have one kind of top end thing, you could always drop 1 more there. And again, what this is doing is shifting our high end to meet more of the fast range, fast paced capacity there. And then you may want to consider Mythos of Nethroi to kind of hit some of those bigger creatures too, or get some of those other guys off the board if you need. And that should really, really help you in terms of kind of navigating there. And really Vivian at the top end could be enough to kind of get you through to what you need. So Planeswalkers, next we're going to talk about the mid-range battle. So here we got the Abzan Midrange. You could run into a Sultai, you could run into the Kroxa, or I keep saying Kroxa, but Rakdos. You could run into Selesnya, lots of different things that you could run into here in that mid-range space. I like to, against this one in particular, Agonizing Remorse isn't bad. You want to see what they're playing. You might not run Eliminate. Mythos of Nethroi you might not run too. You could consider pull a Chronos. You might need to run Field of the Rune, but most of the matchup here is going to be pretty on par in terms of how we're playing. It's really going to be about making the right trades and holding that board. You're probably not going to be playing too hard early game in terms of getting stuff, kind of trading 1 for 1. So those are some considerations. What would I move out? You could even do a Lovestruck Beast if you wanted to, if you go more kind of move it down the curve. Let's see here. Let's say like 4 cards. I'd probably try and keep the higher end intact. I would begin to look at Scavenging Ooze as an opportunity. Also some of the kill spells that you may not need. This one's obviously at instant speed. You could drop, if they're not running like a ton of creatures, I would drop Bloodchief's Thirst, because this is still going to hit your planeswalkers for you and at instant speed at a cheaper cost. So that could be a good one for you. So you could look at these two, this one as well. Black Lance Paragon might be one. So that gives you a good spot, and then that's again going to kind of change the shift of your deck up there, curve at least. And last but not least, late game, these could be some of the control decks like UW, it could be a Grixis, it could be Doom decks, Esper, whatever, Yorion, whatever, those kinds of things, Dimmer Control. There, you're probably not going to run like a lot of the kill spells like we've talked about. You're going to want to run the Agonizing Remorses. Probably going to want to run Mythos of Nethroi. I would actually consider running Lovestruck Beast, pull a Chronos as well, and then again you may need to run the fields. So let's go like 4 to 6, maybe more. Again, you might not really run the Bloodchief's Thirst. You can consider Heartless Act. I like to move it actually to be a little bit quicker against the control. Because if we can make it work, our higher end stuff is going to be a little bit more protected too, just because they'll either have to trade on the higher end stuff and we can keep doing the chip damage. So maybe there's some other opportunities for us to kind of outpace them there. So that is the lineup in terms of an aggro, mid-range, and late game. Super pumped to play this Abzan mid-range deck for us today. So if you do have questions or comments, Planeswalkers, again, down below, happy to help. You can hop in the Discord channel if you'd like to as well. Lots of great people. Love having the conversations in there, so thank you as always. All right, so let's hop into it here. With our Abzan mid-range, we're going to go play standard ranked. So yesterday we ran an Is It Control. Did not perform as well as we like. Super fun deck, but nonetheless, that is how it goes. So we are playing Die Happy here, a top 1,000 ranked player in best of 1. I do like what we have here because we get to hit everything that we need. Even though our opponent goes first, I'm going to keep this. And as we get started here, I just want to say thank you. I really, really appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down there. Additionally, like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Twitch to stay up to date on content like this. Additionally, other ways to support the channel down below. And please feel free to become a patron or a YouTube member as well, Planeswalkers. All right, so what do we want to play here? I actually can't hit anything yet. Because that's 3, I won't hit it. I can't kick it. Oh, how do I want to play this? Well, I can kill the Annex. I think that's what I'm going to do. Problem is they do have Embra, which is going to hurt pretty badly. That's going to hurt real bad. They have lethal, pretty much have lethal. So bad matchup, like I said, against the aggro. As long as we evaded that, could have been a little bit differently. But what can I do? I could pull this back for one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not going to be enough, though, no matter what I do here. We can sack. It's not going to give me enough. We can get to 2. So we can go 3. Not good enough, my friends. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit with Rankle and then we'll call it a game. We'll go discard and we'll pull everything here. Because it's kind of funny. And we'll have fun with it. So not the right not the right deck to play off the bat, even though they didn't get a fast start. We just did not have the right setup there. We could have been more aggressive off that start, but I did want to keep those. So unfortunately, we fell from 94 to 93%. Let's go into the next match. Always fun to play the top thousands. So we'll go from there into our next match. So hopefully we'll hit something. It's not another mono red deck, or if we do, we'll at least be able to trade more. You know, we could have played that a little bit differently. We could have killed the flyer. They may have still been able to get cleave off. I'm just trying to do the math in my head. So this is much more aggressive. So we'll stick with this. And depending on what we hit against 24/7, so I'll save my Blood Chief's Thirst for the Lovestruck Beast. Ooh, so we got a food deck, I think. Mono Green Food. So we got to play this one a little bit differently. So I'll kill this guy. Probably should have just used that on Lovestruck, to be honest. But we'll see. We shall see. Ooh. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Is right. Grab a green. Could use a double white though too if we hit it. Let's grab a white. That will actually make us whole on everything. So they have one. Put permanent back. I'm gonna grab the one. We got Kill Spell. We'll stick with that for right now. So we could have played Rankle too. So this is how powerful this card is. Boom! That is why You play that. That is why you play that, my friends. Ooh. Ooh. We can play that. No blocks, we'll kill it. We will kill that. How many do they need to exile? 4 other cards. I'll keep that. So now we need to pull back this card. There we go. Great Henge is gone again. I got one I can get out of there. Actually, we'll do this. There we go. Now we got the good old scoos. Let's actually do some ramp first. I'm gonna play the Maze Mine. Hope they don't have like a fight card. We'll see. Oh, Garuk. Let's take a peek. I'll keep that.
I'd like you to meet my friend, Stompy.
We'll grab the land. Ooh, there you go. Crawling Barrens.
Every day is a new mutation.
We will take that. It's not enough though. So one of the tricks here too is we can pull this if we need to with Maze Mine, and then kill something if we need to. But they also need to exile 4 other cards. So this doubling up is really nice here between the Maze Mine and the Vivian. We've got a lot of cards that we can play here too that we haven't yet. And we'll exile our own. So I can do a couple things here. I can only block 1. Let us do this. Actually, we're good. Then we kill. Oh, let's do this. Way up there. There we go. Alright, a nice matchup there against a Mono Green Stompy. I don't think that was a Foo deck. I think it was more of a Stompy deck. So very, very happy. So we split best of 1 today. We lost to a Mono Red Aggro deck. We end up taking down a Mono Green Stompy deck. So let's go ahead and move into the next portion where we're going to play our best of 3 match today. So traditional standard ranked, again, there's that Is It Control deck from yesterday, so lots of great stuff for you guys to check out. But we are playing our Abzan Midrange one today. So Planeswalkers, with that said, again, as always, huge thank you. I really appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook. You can follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Stay up to date on daily content like this. Before we play Flush Donkey here, also other great ways to support the channel down below, like becoming a patron or becoming a YouTube member. So always appreciate that. And other ways to connect as well with things like the Discord server. All right. So what do I not like? This is a Yorion deck, so Blood Chiefs are going to be a waste. I do like Maze Mind. I'm going to end up mulliganing though. Oh, we should have kept the other one. We'll drop one of those. Uh-oh. So it looks like we hit a Jeskai deck. This could be an interesting matchup for us, actually. And gonna be painful. I guess 83% here. Alright, so good news is I can double up on everything. Still a dead card for us right now. Ooh, could be a mill deck. Ooh, so we can run the Moth. Waiting more with black. Grab those two. There we go. Now, I'm doing that to try and get to a land. That's why I did that. Ugh.
Honor the past by bringing its traditions into the future.
Again, a lot of kill spells that aren't going to do much for us. Now that we know that they are roaming planeswalkers, we can do a few things here. Go with this one. If it sticks, if Elder Gargaroth sticks, then we have a little bit to play with here.
Let me help you practice.
Oh, little Dugan.
An opportunity to act
5, they'll lose their ancient way. That's fine. We're still on it. So this.
to the essence of the multiverse. I did all I deemed
There we go.
appropriate.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7. What are we missing here? Let's go grab another black.
Every creature deserves life, and I will protect them. We will adapt to any threat. I hate this.
So we can play this. Super hardcore. Take that off.
I call, and Ikoria answers.
They have lethal. Shoot, 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 shoot. Alright, that is a bummer. This is going to be a tough match for us, but we'll see if we can pull it off. We just got to move quick, then we might be okay there. So, let's see. I don't mind dropping those. I don't mind dropping that. Heartless Act isn't going to help. I like Nethroi. I do like Agonizing Remorse. I like Pool of Chronos. Extinction Event might not be bad. We could consider getting under. Like I said, I don't know if that's going to be the right play, though. Scavenging Ooze isn't going to help us. The Arachnors might, if they're running those flyers. And go Love Struck. I guess the Thirst still hit those flyers. Go one. This hits their powerful cards, so we'll keep that. We'll keep this stuff. We'll try that. Let's see how it goes. If we lose this, we're going to go to maybe 91. Ugh. Play first. We'll keep this. Keep that. So let's take a look here then. That's what one of the things they kept. We don't care about that so much. Do we want to get Ugin now? Share the Sky I don't care about too much. Jawari we can keep. Skyclave we can keep. Let me get rid of that. I'm okay with that. Absolutely. Let's see what we got on the top of the stack. I can take that. Go grab a green and a white. Let's drop that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maze Mind off. And let's see what we got here. Get that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That will give us 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll be able to drop our Ugin first.
Ghost fire, my greatest creation.
And we can protect them with Elder. There's 5, 6.
Consider this a warning.
So on the staff, we're gonna hit this guy. So he's either going to exile or he's going to deal the damage. There we go.
Silence.
Alright. 7 permanents. We can go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. There we go. Oh!
Every mutation displays nature's ingenuity.
Yes! I got an Ugin off. I don't think I've actually done that before, so that was pretty fun. We will stick to what we have right now, actually. We may, if they're running Trawler though, we may need to run another extinction event here. So we may do that because of Trawler. Love Struck worked fine. We'll drop 1 Love Struck though. It was enough to put pressure on them. They are running more of the 3 kill spells though. Oh, I feel like Blood Chief's Thirst is better now again for us. So we'll go with this. Alright, so let's see what we got going on here. So I will keep this. I will keep this because we got the Maze Mind. Oh. And I can use this to keep looking for the lands. Oh, that's good. Even better. As long as they don't counter it. If they counter it, I will be a little sad. Probably got a counter. Jawari here. There it is. That hurts. That hurts. Ooh, that's big for us, actually. Really big. We'll go... This is black. Let's grab our green here. Ho ho ho, blowing through counters early here. Oh, that's real big for us. Let's do this. We need that other black source. There we go. Let's see if they got another one. There we go. Oof. That feels good. Now, they could have the wiper, the board wiper here. There it is. So we can play a little bit safer this turn. Counter non-creature. We can dump Yorion too. Alright. Uh-oh. There we go. I need to start pulling fast. Very fast. 4. We can get a 6. Let's get 2 of them on the board. Go draw a card. Six other cards. Let's then do I? They're not going to get anything off that, so we can save that. So let's get this guy on. There it is. That off the board. One, two, three, four, five, six. We gotta get them soon. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Whew. Whew. Unless I get a Brazen Borrower. Alright, we took it home. We took it home against the Yorion Jeskai Control deck, moving into 95%. So really, really nice day today. A lot of fun. We split best of one. We lost the Mono Red. We came back in our second match. It's Mono Green Stompy deck, and then we took her home in the best of 3 style today with this Abzan Midrange deck. So super fun, as you guys could see. Very, very powerful deck. I do really like this one. It's got a lot of great options for us. Again, this was a Platinum to Mythic 6+ wins deck today. And really, really nice on the top end. Good situations. Does well in the early game. We were able to board well enough in terms of how we want to play against that control deck. Definitely a little challenging, a little bit tricky, but we were able to kind of overcome that. Mythos of Nethroi, huge card there for us in this deck. I would call that one definitely an MVP in across all the games that we played. So a lot of fun. Really like this. Did not fully get to use Acolyte of Affliction. You guys did get to see it, but was pretty fun to do all these different things. So hope you guys enjoyed the matches today. We did get to see the deck very well for the most part in terms of its totality and a lot of the different things that we could kind of cast and play. And it held up decently in best of 1 and played great in best of 3 today, even against kind of a more challenging deck for us Planeswalkers. As always, huge thank you. Really appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Stay up to date on daily content like this. Other ways to support the channel down below in the description, like becoming a patron or YouTube member. I truly appreciate that. Just so that you know, every bit helps. And additionally, last but not least, please feel free to hop on the Discord server down there as well. And then if you do got questions or comments, shoot them my way. Always do my best to respond to those for you too. All right, Planeswalkers, with that said, I hope you guys enjoy this. Great Abzan mid-range, no Siege Rhino, but how it goes, maybe we can call it the Luminous Broodmoth one there. But anyway, super fun. Had a great day. We'll see you again soon, Planeswalkers. You stay safe. Until next time, we got a lot of stuff coming your way. Take care.